Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. Washington is reportedly making waves in the NFL with what could be one of the most jaw-dropping financial commitments in league history. Sources close to the situation suggest that the franchise is ready to shell out an astronomical $750 million to keep Terry McLaurin under contract. Through 2030, the figures alone are enough to make any fan stop and double-check the numbers. But insiders hint this is more than a simple extension, it's a statement. Terry McLaurin, who has consistently proven himself as one of the most electrifying wide receivers in the league, would essentially become the centerpiece of Washington's offense for nearly a decade. A bold move that seems to signal a complete rebuilding strategy centered around his talent. Analysts are already buzzing about how this deal, if finalized, would shift power dynamics not only within the NFC East but across the entire NFL, challenging the norms of player valuation and team payroll strategies. Rumors suggest that this deal includes not only an unprecedented base salary but also complex incentives and guarantees that would make other stars in the league look twice at their own contracts. The speculation around Washington's intentions doesn't stop with the numbers. There's chatter that this move could redefine the way franchises approach long-term player security. In a league no rise for its salary cap restrictions and frequent roster overhauls, Terry McLaurin's loyalty and consistency, combined with his explosiveness on the field, might have convinced Washington's front office to make a commitment that borders on visionary or reckless, depending on who you ask. Sources indicate that discussions have been ongoing for months, with McLaurin's representatives carefully navigating every detail to ensure that both parties emerge satisfied. Industry insiders argue that locking in a superstar wide receiver for such an extended period, particularly with guaranteed money at this scale, could have ripple effects throughout future contract negotiations for other top-tier players, potentially inflating market expectations in ways no one has seen before. This deal, if it materializes, might not just be about keeping a key player. It could represent Washington's ambition to establish dominance in the NFC East for years to come, signaling to rivals that they are willing to spend whatever it takes to secure elite talent. Fans and media alike are speculating about the broader strategic implications. A contract of this magnitude could reshape Washington's offensive philosophy, turning Terry McLaurin into the unquestionable focal point of the passing game. Rumors suggest that coaching staff may begin designing schemes that maximize McLaurin's explosive route running and reliable hands, creating mismatches across the league. Some insiders even hint at a potential ripple effect in free agency, where other teams might be pressured to retain or pursue their own elite receivers with similarly aggressive offers, fearing that any hesitation could leave them at a competitive disadvantage. Analysts are questioning how this commitment impacts Washington's salary cap flexibility, and whether the team is prepared to restructure other deals to accommodate such a massive investment. Even among casual fans, speculation is running rampant, with social media exploding with debates about whether this is a masterstroke in long-term planning or an overly risky financial gamble. The narrative being built around McLaurin suggests that Washington sees him not only as a player, but as a brand, a marketable face of the franchise capable of energizing both fans and sponsors alike. Industry insiders are also pointing out that Terry McLaurin's personal trajectory might have influenced Washington's bold move. Sources familiar with the discussions hint that McLaurin has been clear about his ambitions. He wants to be recognized not only as a top-tier receiver statistically, but also as a cornerstone of a team that can contend consistently. This alignment of player goals and franchise vision could explain why Washington is willing to commit such an unprecedented sum for the long haul. Rumors suggest that McLaurin's leadership, work ethic, and ability to perform in high-pressure situations were central talking points in the negotiation process, convincing executives that investing in him for nearly a decade is a calculated risk worth taking. Observers are already theorizing how this could affect rookie contracts, trades, and even coaching strategies, as Washington might feel emboldened to build around McLaurin in ways that completely redefine their roster construction. The anticipation alone is generating a media frenzy, with every practice, interview, and press conference now scrutinized for hints about the potential deal structure and impact. Financial analysts and league commentators are reportedly poring over potential ramifications, Beyond just the team and the player, a guaranteed contract of $750 million could set a precedent that challenges how future superstars negotiate their terms, raising questions about salary caps, incentive structures, and even the longevity of certain contracts in a sport notorious for injuries. There's chatter that McLaurin's deal might include performance bonuses, playoff incentives, and other creative clauses designed to protect both the franchise and the player, while still ensuring the magnitude of the commitment remains historic. The rumor mill suggests that Washington is prepared to take on a level of financial exposure rarely seen, betting that the upside of having a world-class receiver leading their offense outweighs the inherent risks. As a result, industry insiders are debating whether other franchises will feel pressure to match or surpass this deal for their own stars, potentially triggering a ripple effect that could reshape the economic landscape of the league for years to come. Finally, speculation is also swirling around fan reactions, which are said to be a mix of awe and apprehension. Social media platforms reportedly exploded with fans, both celebrating the audacity of Washington's move and questioning whether such a massive contract might hinder other roster decisions. In the future, conversations in podcasts and sports panels suggest that the deal, if confirmed, could transform Washington's image, portraying the franchise as fearless, ambitious, and committed to building a team capable of competing at the highest level for an extended period. Even skeptics admit that from a marketing standpoint, the move positions Washington as a team willing to make bold statements, potentially attracting more talent, sponsorships, and fan engagement. While the contract remains speculative, the narrative surrounding it is already creating waves, making Terry McLaurin not just a player to watch, but a symbol of an audacious gamble that could either define or haunt Washington for the rest of the decade. Washington's rumored commitment to Terry McLaurin has reportedly sent shockwaves across the NFL landscape, with rival teams scrambling to assess the implications of a $750 million deal that could extend through 2030. Insiders speculate that such an investment represents a radical approach to franchise building, placing McLaurin at the very center of Washington's long-term vision. Sources suggest that executives believe the deal could not only secure on-field excellence, but also drive off-field revenue through merchandise, branding, and media exposure, making the investment more than purely strategic from a football perspective. The rumors indicate that every aspect of the contract is being meticulously structured, from guaranteed money to performance-based incentives, ensuring that both McLaurin and the team benefit while managing the enormous financial risk. Analysts are reportedly debating whether this move could redefine the standards for elite player contracts, potentially encouraging other franchises to rethink how they value superstar talent. Discussions in sports media hint that Washington is signaling to the league that they are prepared to make unprecedented commitments to maintain competitive relevance, a narrative that could inspire or intimidate rival teams as they evaluate their own roster strategies and financial flexibility. Speculation about the deal also points to potential ripple effects on team dynamics, as locking in a player of McLaurin's caliber for nearly a decade could influence roster composition, coaching decisions, and draft strategies. Sources suggest that Washington might adjust offensive schemes to fully exploit McLaurin's skills, transforming him into the focal point of the franchise's identity and long-term planning. Analysts are reportedly considering the balance between rewarding a superstar and maintaining flexibility for other key positions, with some suggesting that the magnitude of the contract could limit future acquisitions, while others argue it could attract talent eager to play alongside McLaurin. Social media chatter and fan forums are reportedly alive with theories about the impact of this deal on both Washington's performance and league-wide contract trends, highlighting the excitement and concern surrounding such a high-profile commitment. Additionally, some insiders hint at potential marketing and branding opportunities tied to McLaurin, suggesting that the team sees him not just as an athlete, but as a franchise-defining figure, capable of boosting visibility and revenue streams across multiple platforms. Financial implications are reportedly a hot topic among commentators, with experts debating how a $750 million contract affects Washington's salary cap structure and overall roster management. Rumors suggest that creative contract engineering, including bonuses, incentives, and deferred payments, might be part of the strategy to mitigate risk while maintaining the headline-grabbing value of the deal. Industry insiders are reportedly considering the precedent this could set for future Negotiations, where players of McLaurin's caliber might demand similarly ambitious contracts, potentially reshaping the financial landscape of the NFL for years. There's chatter that this move could inspire rival teams to reevaluate their own approaches to superstar retention, potentially igniting a chain reaction in contract negotiations and free agent bidding wars across the league. Analysts are speculating whether the gamble will pay off on the field, as the performance expectations for McLaurin will inevitably be sky high, creating pressure that both player and franchise must navigate carefully. Rumors indicate that McLaurin's personal influence in the negotiations has been significant, with sources suggesting he was clear about his desire for long-term security and recognition as a central figure in Washington's plans. Industry insiders hint that this alignment of player ambition and franchise vision is unusual and could explain the extraordinary scale of the potential deal. Observers speculate that McLaurin's leadership qualities, dedication, and consistency might have convinced executives to make a commitment that few teams would dare attempt. This rumored alignment also suggests a possible cultural shift within Washington, as locking in a marquee player for such an extended period could redefine expectations for accountability, performance, and loyalty across the roster. Analysts and fans alike are reportedly weighing the broader implications, from team morale to media narratives, highlighting the wide-reaching effects of what could become one of the most talked-about contracts in NFL history. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. The speculation around fan reactions is reportedly intense, with chatter indicating a mix of exhilaration and skepticism. Social media platforms are buzzing with debates over the wisdom of committing such a vast sum to a single player, while others celebrate the audacity and ambition behind the rumored deal. Observers suggest that this move could significantly enhance fan engagement, creating a new level of excitement around Washington's games, merchandise, and broader branding initiatives. Podcasts and sports shows are reportedly dissecting every angle, from strategic implications to financial risk, creating a media frenzy that elevates McLaurin to a symbol of Washington's bold, potentially transformative vision. Even skeptics reportedly acknowledge that the rumor alone has generated unprecedented attention, positioning the team as fearless and forward-thinking while raising expectations for on-field performance and organizational success. Finally, speculation points to long-term consequences for the NFL's economic and competitive landscape. Industry insiders hint that if Washington finalizes a $750 million deal with Terry McLaurin, it could trigger a new era of player empowerment, contract inflation, and team-building strategies. Analysts are reportedly considering the potential influence on future negotiations, salary caps, and the balance of power across franchises, suggesting that this rumored deal could become a blueprint or a cautionary tale for other teams. Fans and commentators alike are eagerly watching every development, understanding that a commitment of this magnitude goes beyond football. It could redefine how franchises, players, and the league approach talent valuation, loyalty, and ambition for the next decade. In essence, the speculation surrounding McLaurin's contract paints a picture of a league on the brink of transformation, with Washington potentially leading the charge into uncharted territory, blending audacity, strategy, and spectacle in a way few could have anticipated. As the days pass and the rumor continues to echo, it has begun to feel less like idle talk and more like a shared thought experiment. Across the football world, fans of other teams are weighing in, some dismissing it as impossible, others admitting that it makes a strange kind of sense. That tension keeps the story alive. The Commanders, often discussed for reasons unrelated to on-field excitement, are suddenly at the center of a narrative fueled by hope and ambition. The idea of CD Lamb and their colors forces everyone to rethink assumptions about loyalty, opportunity, and vision. Whether this speculation ultimately proves accurate or not, it has already achieved something rare. It has united a fan base in conversation, drawn national attention, and reminded the league that bold ideas still matter. Rumors like this endure because they tap into what sports are truly about: the possibility of reinvention, the thrill of the unexpected, and the belief that one decision can change everything. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.